Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Real quick before we get to our next guest, I want to mention if you go to joekrzyzewski.com/free, you can download the song you just heard for free. I Can Hear the Devil Knocking. So joekrzyzewski.com/free, and you can download the song I Can Hear the Devil Knocking for free. My next guest is a real talented actress, very beautiful. She's done everything and has played everything. A lot of heavy stuff. And we're happy to have her here. This really sort of classes up the joint. This is odd. We usually have overweight baseball writers here. Please welcome to the Artie Lange Show, Kinga Phillips. What's up?
Well, you actually don't know yet that I'm going to class up the joint.
Oh, okay. Well, you know.
It could go either way, really.
I'm assuming that. I'm going out on a limb.
We're pretty certain.
So how? So you've been in L.A. You live in L.A.
I live in L.A.
How long have you lived there for now?
I've been there for 13 years.
And your background is really kind of all over the place. You were born in Warsaw, Poland.
Yeah.
And when you were 5, you left there?
We did. We went from Warsaw, Poland to Bartlesville, Oklahoma, which is really, really random.
How did that happen?
My dad was part of the solidarity movement with Lech Wałęsa.
Oh, wow.
And we left with our little bags and came here under the pretense that we were coming on vacation, and then we're offered political asylum. It was this big thing. And then
Nuts.
The paper in Bartlesville wrote a big story on us because we were this Polish family in Oklahoma.
But why did you choose Oklahoma? It just was... Someone chose it for you, or
the finger of fate kind of did. My dad was a geologist, and there's lots of oil and groundwater in Oklahoma. So
there you go.
That's how we ended up there.
So your life now, you have siblings?
I have a little sister.
Okay. And what is that like? So I mean, you live like kind of a lifetime before you're 10 years old. There's a lot of stuff going on, and you assimilated to Oklahoma. Like, you know, you were young, but how do your parents deal with it there? Was it okay?
You know, it's interesting because when you're that young, when you're 5 years old, I hardly remember the transition. I learned English like this, and it's like the floodgates open and you learn. But my parents were in their mid-30s, so for them, it's like uprooting their life.
I know, you can't do that. Yeah.
It's hard. Like, I mean, the new language. My mom was a pharmacist in Poland. She couldn't be one here because her degree wasn't honored here. So she went and cleaned houses.
So she couldn't ply her trade here.
She could not ply her trade. She had to find a new one. She worked in a school cafeteria. It was, you know, and kudos to them because they gave me and my sister the life that we have. Otherwise, you know, who knows where I'd be.
Kudos to you, too, because I am so lazy. I guarantee if I moved here from Poland at 5, I'm 46. I'd still be speaking Polish, refusing to learn English. I'd be whining like "Das nas do nas" or whatever that is. But you know, do you speak fluent Polish?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. And then you want to become an actress out of nowhere. You go to University of Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Right?
I did. Well, I went to Oklahoma State. I went Auburn. I couldn't make up my mind. I went to Cal State Northridge, interned, went back to Oklahoma State, and graduated. Yeah. Like in 4.5 years. It probably should have been 16, really. But I made it out of there with a journalism degree. And then I came to L.A. and kind of went, God, this is really cool. Like, I can be a journalist, and I can act, and I can do all these things. I want to do everything.
You want to do everything, yeah. And you were good at everything.
Well, I don't know that I'm good at everything, but I figure as long as they're giving me jobs, I'm going to keep taking them.
You're getting a lot of work. That's what I mean, you know. What do you like the most? You like acting? Right?
Oh, man, I don't know. It's a little bit of everything. It's kind of like Quantum Leap, you know? That was the TV show that I loved. Like, he got to be, right? It was a great show. And I remember watching that and going, he's so cool. He gets to be everybody. I want to be everybody. And you get to do that when you're an actor and a journalist.
I'm looking at your resume. You're in comedies. You're in, like, so these heavy dramas. You're an Austin Powers Gold member, which I get the double entendre there, by the way. Member, get it? NCI Los Angeles, Perception, Scandal, a lot of different things.
It's fun. It's been really fun, and I've gotten to play some like really wacky, kooky characters. Like my everyday life is really happy and bubbly, and I have this great life, and I smile a lot. And then they give me roles as like the psychopathic killer with schizophrenia and multiple personality disorder who strangles people.
See, my life is the exact opposite. On air and on stage, I'm like happy-go-lucky, fun, let's get laughs, and I have an insanely dark personal life where I'm schizophrenic, basically. You played a schizophrenic.
I did.
What's that like? Did you do research for that?
I did do research. I did a lot of intense research, and I watched a lot of videos and footage and interesting things and spoke to people. You know, you have to do your due diligence and kind of get it right when you're playing a role like that. And
You talk to schizophrenics.
I did.
How'd that go?
As well as it can. You know, I definitely got some insight. But then realistically, when you're playing like a psychopathic killer, how much research can you do? Like, what am I going to pull from?
Well,
you know, that one time I killed a spider. Like, what am I going to pull from?
You can't kill somebody, that's true.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, acting, that means you're good at acting, you know?
Yeah.
John, go ahead.
I think it's cool, like the Legend Quest show, and then on National Geographic, you did another show like America's Lost Treasures. That life to me, I mean, being like Indiana Jones somehow, finding.
You just sounded like the Chris Farley show on Saturday night. I thought it was cool when you did the Lost Treasures. That's cool to me.
No, that must have been amazingly interesting, right?
It was indeed amazingly interesting. We spent, for Legend Quest on Sci-Fi, we spent 2 months traveling the world. I think we lapped the world twice.
Wow.
And
That's
went to,
great when you can travel. Yeah.
So cool. So cool. Petra. I mean, waterfalls in the Philippines, like cenotes in Mexico. We flew over the Vatican. Like,
What's a
really cool
cenote?
stuff. A cenote is a limestone formation that has collapsed due to weather factors and has basically created this crater in the earth, and it's filled up with water. It's like an underground cave system.
My God.
But you guys were going and like actually looking for things like the Holy Grail.
Yeah, we didn't find it.
Right. But
hey, look, looking for it's a TV show. What the hell?
We looked.
It's amazing. That's man. So what did you find? Anything?
Well, we
was it
found
just
a lot
goose
of
chase?
we found a lot of really cool stories. I mean, the Ark of the Covenant. We went to Lalibela in Ethiopia, which is a place that I never thought life would take me. And they have these amazing sunken churches. And Ethiopia announced a couple of years ago now that they have the Ark of the Covenant. And in each one of these churches, they have an exact replica built to the exact specifications that are given in the Bible. And whatever they said must have been so interesting that even the Vatican was like, all right, we'll bite. And they were going to have a press conference. And then the day before, they pulled it and they said, no, we don't want to do it.
Really?
So,
Really?
Yeah.
See, I would. My agent got me an acting job where I had to go to Ethiopia. I'd go. Do you have anything on How I Met Your Mother? I mean, I want to go to Burbank. I want to go to Burbank.
Burbank, Ethiopia.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
What
these are
is it?
sunken churches, just like in Indiana Jones, like where he's down there with the turban and the staff that has the gem focusing on the. You know,
Was it exactly like that?
I'm sure it was,
We were just like
precisely,
that,
right?
minus the turban. They wouldn't let me wear
but
one, and
sunken,
I didn't have a
mean,
staff.
these are under the sand, like you're going.
Well, these weren't under the sand. They were actually built down. So imagine a level rock, and then they built these churches down into it. So you take these stairs down, and they were built by hand, and there are like 30 of them. It's incredible. It's a lot like Petra.
Right.
And you could have seen the Ark of the Covenant. I mean, who knows? They're all replicas just to throw off the those who would harm the Ark.
I mean, as we know from Indiana Jones, there's a lot of power in that. Like your faces melt
bet.
off, all kinds of
Yes.
stuff. You don't want that falling into the wrong hands.
Imagine that.
What is the Holy Grail according to you? According to the show, like you were looking for, what is it exactly?
Well, the Holy Grail is so many different things to so many different people. Well, the Holy Grail is the Ark of the Covenant is one thing. The Holy Grail is this chalice that you drink
So
from.
that's what it
and-
is. Actually,
Jesus
the chalice.
drank from at the Last
Yeah.
Supper.
Right, that's what it is.
Yeah, and it also caught his
Other
blood.
people think it's different things, right?
Yes, it could be.
It could be the bloodline. It could be a bunch of things.
Yeah, it could be
According to
Rosalind
Dan
Chapel,
Brown,
Mary
it's the
Magdalene.
Yeah, Mary Magdalene, the hooker.
No, is she?
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. Listen, I think so. Where there's hooker smoke, there's hookers.
Where there's hooker
she
smoke.
was once a hooker.
Yeah, right. And then she, and I personally am a
changed her
Christian.
life.
I'm a Christian that's not offended by that. If Jesus had to be stressed with what he was doing, if he had to pay for a little, that's fine with me. Really, honestly. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I think Jesus has a good sense of humor.
No.
I personally believe that. So
Sure.
it's all good, you know. Hookers smoking hookers, smoke from hookers.
Yeah, if you,
He's laughing.
eventually when you're doing what he did, you had to get laid. I think you got to really just let off some steam. And if Mary Magdalene's there, you're the only one around. I mean, I'm fine with it.
So the
John?
whole miraculous, immaculate conception, all of that.
Well, that's how he became.
That's how he came out. There are people. Yeah, people believe that he was married to her. You know, there are people
To Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people.
Well, Sam
I don't
Kinison.
know.
Sam Kinison had that great routine. You know the comedian Sam Kinison.
Uh-huh.
He had a great routine where Lucky Jesus wasn't married, especially around when he died, because, you know, what wife would believe that story when he comes back home? Well, you left here Friday with 12 of your buddies, and you're out all weekend, and you come back, and this is the story you have?
Babe, I swear, it's the truth, I swear.
But Kinnison does it great. He goes, Jesus is walking around going, yeah, honey, I know, yeah. If you don't mind, if it's okay with you, I was dead! I was dead for your sins! Yeah. Now, I always want to ask people like you this. How many times during the day does a situation come up where you have to deal with the fact that you're insanely good looking? Like how often does it come up with like men? Well, yeah, like men and stuff. Like, do they act differently around you and stuff? Because I can already see we're all acting differently around you.
I'm just taking in the fact that you called me insanely good looking, and I'm going to just savor that for a minute.
It's true. I mean, you're very good looking. I mean, how often does that come up, even in LA?
Maybe she doesn't recognize that it's happening because it has been happening.
You're used to it. I mean.
You know, one day I'll show you guys photos of me as a child growing up, coming in from Poland.
I don't want to see that.
Well, you should. You should really balance things out, I promise you. Because
why would I want to balance things out?
The awkward phase lasted for a good 15 years with like perms and buck teeth and just...
Yeah, I'm sure you were hideous.
Yeah, I was hideous. No, it's true, I was hideous.
No.
I was hideous. Not only was I hideous, but I also was forced by my family to pose by photos of roadkill. That was my parents' thing because, hear me out.
You know what, when we're going to take a picture later, maybe they'll accept that.
Yeah. Yes, please.
When me and you take a picture.
Yeah.
My dad really loved all these cool animals, and the only way that you can see them is when they're dead on the road. So I would be forced to like step out of the car and like, for the sake of comparison, stand next to like coyotes.
Comparison of what?
Well, because he's a scientist.
He wanted he's a scientist.
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh, okay. I thought comparison of something ugly and good looking.
No, at that point the coyote was better looking by far.
Wow.
Even the roadkill coyote.
But when you go to LA, that helps. It helps to be attractive. Because I lived out there for 6 years, and
everyone in LA is attractive. It's nothing. I mean,
I lived out there for 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
how'd it go for you?
Well, I don't think we were on the same auditions. Apparently. I mean, there's every type of person in LA because you need every type of person.
Sure.
There's a lot of attractive people. There are.
A lot of attractive people.
Now, do you do the spray tan?
No, I'm a surfer. Like, I don't need the spray tan. I actually try to remove the tan as much as possible.
Do you live by the beach?
I do.
And you surf a lot?
I do.
Wow. Well, that's good. See, I was in the water once. I lived out there 6 years. I went in the Pacific Ocean once, and that was for a sketch. In March, it was insanely cold.
That's really cold.
I was dressed like a pig.
Was it like a pig wetsuit or just a pig costume?
We did a sketch on Mad TV called Babe Watch, where I'm the pig babe, Baywatch. Not a lot of Emmys for writing over there. But so I was Babe the pig, 4 hours of prosthetics, teats with a bikini over each teat and a spout and everything. And I had at the end of the sketch, I jumped into the Pacific Ocean. It was shot on location. It was freezing.
That was the only time you went in?
In 6 years.
Well, you can't top that.
What I'm saying. Not like me. Instead of looking like me, I actually made it worse. I dressed as an actual pig. It was terrible. Well, what is the surfing season? How often?
Isn't that just a way of life? I mean, are you there every day?
It is. We do go. We have like a fun little crew. Like, it is a lifestyle. And
is Matthew McConaughey in the crew?
No, he's not in my crew.
Yeah.
He has his own little surf break. He's not in my crew.
What famous people do you know?
I don't know.
You know a lot of famous.
No, I don't. I really don't. My friends are all dirty surfers.
Yeah, but I mean, you probably know famous people. You've worked with them.
They're dirty surfers.
Mark Harmon you've worked with, right?
Yeah.
And what about him? You know him?
No, just worked with him.
All right,
he's not
fine.
a dirty surfer.
Well, what do you mean dirty surfers?
I thought he was a surfer.
Do they work?
Yeah, they have jobs, but they try to. This is the surfing skill set. Okay, is you try to take as few jobs as possible that pay you the most amount of money so that you can go back to the beach and surf. This is the most makeup that I've worn in weeks.
Really?
Because usually it's just a white mask, like a kabuki mask of sunblock, trying to block all that stuff.
And that's how often you surf. You're out there that often.
All the time.
Wow. Well,
It's my form of exercise. People go to gyms, people run, people do all these different things.
Yeah.
I go out in the water. I'm not good. I mean, I don't want to fool anyone into thinking that I'm good. I'm horrible. I spend more time underneath the waves than I do on top of them.
You're one of those people that's good at a bunch of things but says you're bad at them. That's
no,
what
I'm actually mediocre at most things.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to see mediocrity? Hang out here for a few hours.
Fit right in.
You don't know what mediocre is. No, what are you working on now?
Well, I'm doing a show for Travel Channel called Over
What are
the
you
Edge with
sucking
Kinga
at now?
Phillips. I am being mediocre at
Yeah.
following things. A show for Travel Channel, which is really cool, where we run around and basically do fun things in America's wild spaces, like a new way to see America. Instead of, the old Griswold, you roll up to the Grand Canyon and they go, let's go.
Yeah.
They take off. We
What's
actually,
the name of the show?
it's called Over the Edge with Kinga Phillips.
These are all great jobs you're getting. 'Cause you
That's
get
a
to
great job.
Travel, and stuff like that.
I do get to travel, so super fun. And I'm actually here in New York for a show for Universal Sports called The Last 26, and on Sunday I'm running the marathon.
Oh, you are?
Dun, dun, dun.
Man.
This Sunday?
This Sunday.
Well, that's when they're running it.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping to do it on another day when it's not as crowded, but they wouldn't let
That'd
me.
be funny if you just do it on
This
another day.
Sunday.
Like I'm running it Tuesday, guys.
It's imminent.
Sunday doesn't work for me. I'll be there Tuesday.
I'll be there Tuesday. Now, have you ever run a marathon?
Nope. I did a 5K, which is just over 3 miles, and then in
That's nothing. These marathons are 26
this
miles. I
is
mean, like
26.2.
Substantial.
Yeah, who edged the .2? What jerk off did that?
I don't know, but
Who says
really,
the .2 is really what aggravates me.
I don't think they were measuring it when they originally ran it,
But
right?
why do you know
marathon.
why it's that length? Is that like an ancient Greek thing or something? Like
Maybe.
why is it that
yeah,
length?
I'm assuming it's the distance from somewhere to somewhere.
Is that
Sparta,
true?
somewhere to
I
Sparta.
actually, you know
or-
what? To be honest, I've heard, and I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll have to Google that at some
Guy
point.
had to run and take a message or something that war was coming, or
that's Paul Revere.
similar.
He had
Yeah.
a horse.
yeah.
They didn't give me a horse for this.
Now,
So
yeah.
you're running for a charity though, right?
I am. I'm running for Waves for Water, which, interestingly enough, was started by surfers. And they deliver water filters to people all over the world in need of clean water. Whether it's first response like Haiti or Japan, or whether it's people who just don't have clean drinking water, they bring in these filters. And these filters last for, I think, 5 years for 100 people. So it's a really cool thing. It's a really simple thing.
That's a long time.
It's a long time,
Yeah.
and anyone can do it. They have clean water couriers, which is what I'm going to be. So I've been raising money for these filters, and then once I have a certain amount, I'm going to deliver them myself to wherever Waves for Water sends me.
You got to get them fast because people are like, I would assume, because you got to drink water. And I would assume if you call up saying we need these filters, it's only long before you're dead. And
Yeah, I
then-
think you can go 4 days without water.
Yeah,
I think
you got to
that's-
get them out there.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
a lot of these people, are surviving on just dirty, dirty water, and they have, so many health issues. People are performing surgery with dirty water, and there's just, and imagine the infections and the horrible things that are going to happen from that. We're a spoiled nation with all that clean water we can drink.
Before you do that, clean the water in the hot dog stands here. That's
That's what makes them taste good. Why would you do that?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I had a buddy who worked at Yankee Stadium in the bleachers, and he sold hot dogs. And he was working one August day, and he was really nauseous from the smell of the hot dogs. And he sat on the edge of the wall, and he looked down on the hot dogs, and he was almost like hypnotized by all the hot dogs. And he saw like just a little bead of sweat come down his nose, and then slowly drip into the hot dogs. There was and it happened like 3 times. And then he went back and just sold the rest of them.
And that's the secret ingredient.
I know. I think if you live in a city, we're on top of each other. There's got to be stuff growing here that we're immune to or something. There's got to. I can't believe a virus doesn't take us out. Isn't that weird? I mean, where you are, it's spread out the water. Here in New York, it's like we're on top of one another.
Yeah.
Well, it could happen at any moment.
Well, listen, think about it. We're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
When we come back, can you stick around for another break?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. We're gonna come back, and the great Kinga Phillips is here, and she's gonna run the marathon. That's cool as hell. I don't know how you train for that. I want to ask you how you train for it, because I don't know how you do that. If you never come close to it, it's impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Back after these words.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.